If February begins to feel heavier than January, know that you are not imagining it. February of 2026 is not a collection of random events. It is a continuation of karmic processes that are already in motion. What you're watching unfold now began quietly during the September 7th and September 21st eclipses, and February is when the consequences stop hiding. This month does not introduce chaos. It reveals what has been operating under the surface all along. And what matters is because eclipses don't create events, they expose systems under strain. If you felt pressure around speech, belief systems, borders, and truth itself, this is why. Now, the analysis I'm giving you today is sidereal Vedic astrology, whole sign houses, tracking karmic timelines, not emotional headlines. And know that February is a turning point. So why will this month feel different? Since September, the United States has been under sustained eclipse pressure across the third and ninth house axis. That's speech versus silence, neighbors versus borders, journalism versus ideology, and truth versus belief. This axis governs how reality is narrated and who controls that narrative. And February is when the pressure will become visible. So at the start of February, Mercury, Venus, Sun, and Mars clustered in Capricorn. That's the sign of institutions, hierarchy, authority. When Capricorn becomes overloaded, this history shows the pattern again and again. There's a centralization of power. There's governance by decree and not consensus. Institutions are hollowed out from within, and rule is justified by urgency or a fear emergency-based logic. This is not accidental. The authoritarian systems are weakening institutions, and it makes it easier to rule without accountability. And know that power without righteousness is, in fact, tyranny. Now, since the September eclipses, the third house themes have escalated rapidly. Free speech battles, journalism becoming delegitimized, neighbors reframed as threats, issues with siblings, law enforcement being embedded into civilian life, and highly publicized violence followed by normalization or even reward. This is how populations are conditioned, not through one dramatic moment, but through repetition. So under the eclipse pressure, Mercury doesn't just misinform, it reshapes how reality will be received. So truth is not destroyed by silence, but it is delayed. So by mid-February, about the 12th through the 18th, everything is going to move into Aquarius. That's Mercury conjunct Rahu, the North Node, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Rahu. They're all going to be in a cluster. We call that a stellium. Technology, ideology, and mass emotion will be amplified. Because Aquarius governs the collective mind, we can expect information flooding, cognitive fatigue, emotional numbing, and escalation designed to cause an exhausted resistance. So if you feel overwhelmed, confused, or just emotionally flat, done, that's not a personal failure. That's Rahu's terrain. That's the eclipse. So let's talk about this eclipse on the 17th. It's at 4 degrees and 36 of Aquarius, Dhanishta nakshatra. That is the hinge point of the month. Dhanishta rules power, resources, command, and status. In the shadow, it manifests as a militarized ideology, high-risk dominance displays, reckless decisions to project strength, and political science refers to this as gambling for resurrection. This is when leaders sense their legitimacy slipping and they double down instead of retreating. So history repeats this pattern. This was Mussolini when he entered World War II, Putin's invasion of Ukraine. There's a lot of foreign aggression used to restore authority in these cases when we see these things happening in the sky. So the eclipse activates this ninth house. That's going to bring foreign interventions, border and visa instability, attacks on education and philosophy, and moral frameworks will be weaponized. So this eclipse is going to ask you one question. What do you believe, and what are you willing to justify in its name? Because when your belief loses compassion, wisdom departs. So on February 23rd, Mars is going to enter Aquarius, and this ideology is going to turn kinetic. This is when protests will intensify, crackdowns escalate, technology merges with enforcement, and there is going to be an impulse to replace any kind of deliberation. That's when authoritarian systems escalate fastest, when they're exposed. So astrologically, this is Mars under Rahu. It forms an Angarak yoga. This is action without conscious awareness. So as we talk about these eclipses, this exposes systems that have been under strain, and it's important to connect that symbolism to what is happening in the world right now, because astrology is not abstract. It reflects real changes on how authority, governments, borders, and political trust are evolving throughout democratic societies. So analysis like tools such as the Century Democracy Meter show that the United States experienced a sharp downturn in its democratic health in 2025. That signaled a real decline in the strength of checks and balances, civil liberties, and institutional independence, with executive power expanding at the expense of other branches of government. So this mirrors what we see astrologically on that third ninth house axis. Speech, law, ideology are all under pressure at home, and the nation's role on the stage is going to reflect the world abroad. So recent reporting suggests that American democracy is, quote, on the brink, with experts noting that actions in the future are going to more closely resemble authoritarian tendencies. A contemporary headline that has dominated international relations recently involves the US Greenland Denmark diplomatic tensions. Denmark's King Frederik is scheduled to visit Greenland in February amid ongoing negotiations after a lot of controversial statements from the United States about wanting to control the island. So this has challenged a lot of traditional norms of territorial sovereignty, and it's strained our transatlantic relationships with European allies. Exactly what the ninth house of foreign relations and pressure that eclipses have caused since September. And that is going to be highlighted even more in February and into March. So alongside this is an ongoing military cooperation, such as Operation Arctic Endurance, and that shows the European response to US pressure, reinforcing that shared values, alliances, and international norms are being tested in real time. So the global trend reports overall that fewer countries now meet the modern standards of democracy, and that a share of the world is now living under authoritarian systems, and it will continue to increase. So this fits the eclipse theme, systems under strain, and the need for truth and accountability. For instance, in Latin America, analysts are warning of democratic setbacks in countries long seen as democratic successes. Another real-world reflection of this eclipse axis, making visible what has been under pressure for a while. In Myanmar, elections are widely viewed as engineered to legitimize military rule, and there's a lot of critics reporting repression, exclusion of opposition parties, and low turnout. This has drawn a lot of condemnation from human rights and activist groups, and underscores how electoral structures can become vehicles for authoritarian consolidation. Meanwhile, the 2026 Bangladeshi general election is being monitored extensively by international observers due to ongoing controversies and questions about its legitimacy. A reminder that electoral integrity remains a core democratic measure globally. and it will be tested in the United States in 2026. So pay attention. Across Southeast Europe, sustained protests perceived as democratic backsliding, including a loss of judicial independence and media freedom. They're under real world reflection in that third house theme of voice, dissent, and civic participation. And surveys of global, parliamentarians show that democracy, war, and climate change are viewed as the most urgent challenges internationally, with concerns about how AI's impact on civic discourse will also be on the rise. This aligns directly with that Rahu in Aquarius emphasis on communication, technology, and collective decision making. So the eclipse arc in Aquarius on this third ninth house pressure, they're not just symbols. They reflect a broader pattern. Systems once taken for granted are now under visible strain. Free media, independent judiciaries, transparent elections, big themes in 2026, starts this month. Public trust in institutions will begin to decline, and democratic legitimacy will be debated not only in protests, but in the elections themselves. This will strain diplomatic relations and media coverage. Borders and rule-based international order will also be challenged, whether through diplomatic tension over Greenland or election legitimacy and concerns around the world. So astrologically, this eclipse energy does not create these crises. It reveals what's been going on behind the scenes. The destabilizing effects that you're going to feel and see in the headlines are the collective drama unfolding that the chart is now speaking to. That's why remedies, discernment, and grounded collective presence are so necessary, more now than ever. So know that February is a karmic turning point month. It's dominated by these Aquarius eclipses, Rahu activations, Mercury retrograde, and Jupiter will offer wisdom, but only if you listen. What you choose consciously now will reshape the months ahead. So let's look at love, career, and health for each sign to see what's coming. And this is where the collective story becomes personal. Let's begin with Aries. Aries, this is ascendant moon and sun, and this affects your 11th house. February will activate friendships, alliances, and long-term goals. Group dynamics may fracture, clarify suddenly, and reveal who is truly aligned with your future vision. When it comes to your love and relationships, friendships and alliances will be tested. You are going to be asked to observe who supports your future, your vision, and who drains it. Avoid impulsive reactions, especially mid-month. When it comes to your career and money, dear Aries, group projects and long-term goals shift suddenly. A professional opportunity may dissolve so a truer one can emerge. When it comes to your health and wellness, mental overstimulation will be your biggest challenge. Limit your news, your social media, and any heated discussions. Now, a remedy that you can do is you can chant Shiva's mantra, especially on Maha Shivaratri. And I'll go ahead and get that to you now. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And you can do that 108 times via a mala. You can donate to a community cause, and know that your mantra this month is serve without expectation. Now let's get into Taurus, ascendant, moon, and suns. This affects your 10th house. So that's career, leadership, public reputation. They're all under pressure to evolve. February may bring sudden visibility or controversies your way, so respond strategically rather than defensively. When it comes to your love and relationships, power dynamics will be on the rise for you, especially in regarding your loved ones. Be mindful of any pride or control, because softness will bring a better outcome. When it comes to your career and money, career pressure intensifies, so you may be more visible than expected. Make sure to act with integrity and not any form of defensiveness. Health and wellness. Watch your blood pressure, any tension, especially in the jaw, and any stress held within the body. Some remedies that you can do: you can offer water to the sun daily. You can wear white on Fridays. And know that this month, endurance will be your strength. Now let's get into Gemini, ascendant, moons, and suns. This affects your 9th house. This is your beliefs, legal matters, travel plans, and academic paths will all be in flux. Expect challenges to your worldview that will ultimately push you toward greater intellectual integrity. For your love and relationships, differences in belief systems may challenge intimacy. Honest dialogue will clear any misunderstandings, and try to avoid sarcasm, even if you think you're being funny. When it comes to career and money, education, publishing, visas, legal matters, they're all active but really unstable. So delay any major commitments until mid-March. When it comes to health and wellness, your nervous system overload is very likely. So prioritize sleep and breath work such as pranayama. A remedy that you can do on Wednesdays is you can chant Buddha's mantra. That's Lord Mercury, and I'll give you his mantra now. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. And his seed mantra. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa. Buddhaya Namaha. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa. Buddhaya Namaha. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa. Buddhaya Namaha. And you can do that via a mala 108 times. You can also do it around the retrograde and direct cycles. Very helpful. You can read spiritual texts this month and know that clarity comes from discipline. That's the main mantra for you, okay, dear Geminis? So let's get into Cancer ascendant, moons, and suns. This affects your 8th house. That's shared finances, debts, taxes, emotional entanglements are all going to demand your attention. February asks you to confront these power dynamics honestly and release any dependencies that are draining you. When it comes to your love and relationships, emotional bonds can deepen, but only through honesty. Avoid secrecy or any type of emotional withdrawal. When it comes to your career and money, shared finances, taxes, or debts will demand restructuring. This is about empowerment, not fear. Health and wellness, watch your digestive system and your emotional health. They're going to combine this month. And a remedy that you can do is you can light a ghee lamp on Mondays. You can practice forgiveness. And your mantra this month is let go and peace will follow. So let go of any resentment that you've been hanging on to. Okay, dear Cancers? Now, let's get to Libra, ascendant, moons, and suns. This affects your 7th house. That's partnerships, personal or professional. They're going to reach a turning point. So contracts, commitments, open conflicts may surface. That's going to force a lot of clarity. It's toward more equality and mutual respect in your future interactions. So when it comes to your love and relationships, relationships are going to reach a karmic crossroad. Equality, truth, and respect are non-negotiable right now. When it comes to career and money, business partnerships may shift unexpectedly. Read contracts very carefully, especially after February 12th and around the Mercury retrograde. As far as your health and wellness, your heart and spine will need care this month. And try to avoid any ego-driven exhaustion. So go to the chiropractor, maybe get a massage. And watch your blood pressure. A remedy is you can offer red flowers to the sun. You can serve elders or mentors, or you can practice humility, because your mantra this month is humility protects the heart. Now, let's get into Virgo, ascendant, moons, and suns. This affects your 6th house. That's work routines, health, stress management, hidden enemies. These are all highlighted. This is a month to simplify systems and protect your nervous system from information overload. When it comes to your love and relationships, you may feel emotionally distant, but this is only temporary. Focus on kindness in your daily interactions. When it comes to career and money, work routines will change rapidly. Simplify systems and avoid micromanaging others. Also, beware of any hidden enemies in the workplace. When it comes to health and wellness, gut health and anxiety are going to require your attention. So a remedy that you can do for this is you can fast lightly on Ekadashi, that's twice a month. You can practice mantra repetition, your favorite Ishtadevati, that's your god or goddess of choice. And know that this overall energy, your mantra this month is order in life creates peace, which is perfect for you, dear Virgo. Now, let's get into Libra, ascendants, moons, and suns. This affects your 5th house. This is creative expression, romance, and any matter involving your children can take unexpected turns. February is encouraging you to search for authentic joy rather than approval seeking or performative pleasure. So when it comes to that area of love and relationships, romance can intensify, but it can be a little unpredictable. So avoid idealizing someone too quickly. Go slow. When it comes to career and money, creative projects can surge at this time, but timing is very important. Do not launch anything, especially during the Mercury retrograde. And that Anagara with Mars and Rahu being together can make you a little impulsive, so watch yourself. When it comes to health and wellness, balance pleasure with discipline this month. And a remedy that you can do is on Friday, you can chant Shukra's mantra, which is Lord Venus. And I'll give that to you now. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. And I'll give you his seed mantra as well. Om Dram Dream Dram Sa. Shukraya Namaha. Om Dram Dream Dram Sa. Shukraya Namaha. Om Dram Dream Dram Sa. Shukraya Namaha. And focus on your heart space or anahata as you do this. You can create art or music and know that joy is sacred when it's disciplined. So don't rush into anything or be impulsive. If that was helpful, sweetie. Now, let's go into Scorpio, ascendant, moons, and suns. This is going to affect your 4th house. That's home, family, emotional security. They're all going to be under review. You may feel pulled to redefine what home means for you, physically, emotionally, and especially politically. So when it comes to your love and relationships, family or ancestral themes can rise, and healing comes through emotional honesty. Career and money, real estate or home-based decisions may shift suddenly. Avoid any reactive decisions during this time. When it comes to your health and wellness, emotional detox is essential for you this month. So some remedies that you can do. Clean your living space with intention. Practice silent meditation, especially on your favorite form of God, goddess, or philosophy. And know that your mantra this month is to know that purity of heart is liberation. Now let's go into Sagittarius, ascendant, moons, and suns. This affects your 3rd house. That's communications, media, siblings, and neighbors. These are going to be major themes. Choose your words very carefully because what you say now is going to carry karmic weight into your future. When it comes to love and relationships, again, words carry karmic weight. Choose compassion over trying to prove your point. Career and money, media, writing, and communication projects will undergo some fluctuations. Revisions will be necessary. Health and wellness, your neck, your shoulders, and your nervous system need care. Go to that chiropractic appointment, maybe get an upper body massage, anything to help calm those nerves. And a remedy that you can do is you can chant Guru, who rules Sagittarius, and I'll give you his mantras. Om Guruve Namaha, Om Guruve Namaha, Om Guruve Namaha. And I'll give you his seed mantra as well. Om Gram Grim Gram Sa Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Gram Grim Gram Sa Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Gram Grim Gram Sa Brihaspataye Namaha. It's also very important that you reduce your information uptake. And know that your mantra this month is wisdom speaks softly. So now let's get to Capricorn, ascendant, moon, and suns. This affects your second house. That's money, your values, speech, self-worth, also food, what you eat. These are all going to be shifting. February is going to challenge you to align your financial decisions with integrity rather than from a place of fear or scarcity. In love and relationships, self-worth themes will dominate your relationships. Don't overgive to earn love this month. When it comes to career and money, income sources may change on you. Align your finances with values and not fear. Health and wellness, bones, teeth, and fatigue are going to require your attention. So some remedies. You can offer black sesame on Saturdays, or you could go and feed the crows. One of their favorite foods, I found this out through trial and error, is Costco peanuts, the ones that are unshelled. Rinse them in a colander and feed them on Saturdays. They love it. Just find a park where they congregate and they'll search for you. And that's a really fun way to honor Lord Shani. You can practice gratitude journaling and know that this month's mantra is contentment is your wealth. Right. Now, Aquarius, ascendant, suns, and moons. This affects your first house. It's right on top of you. So it's going to reshape your whole identity and your direction in life. You are shedding an old version of yourself. So be very intentional on who you step into next. So for love and relationships, this is a complete rebirthing month for you. Relationships reflect who you are becoming, not who you were. When it comes to career and money, major identity shifts are going to affect your path. So lead consciously and avoid rebellion for its own sake. But stand up for yourself and stand up for truth. When it comes to your health and wellness, rest is not optional. So here's a remedial measure. Observe silence on Mondays. We call this Mauna in Sanskrit. You can pray to Shiva on Maha Shivaratri. And I'm going to give you 2 mantras for Shiva. This is a simple one. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And if you're looking for one to do during the eclipse, because this is happening on you, I'm going to give you a longer one. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Brukami Bhavandanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Brukami Bhavandanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Brukami Bhavandanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Om Shanti, 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 Om Peace, Peace, Peace. And that is for all of you, dear Aquarians, Sun, Moons, and Ascendants. Ooh. Know that your mantra this month is self-mastery is freedom. Now let's go to Pisces, 12th house. Oh my goodness. So this rules your unconscious, your hidden enemies, any spiritual fatigue. It's going to rise to the surface. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moons, and Ascendants. February is best used for retreat, prayer, and energetic protection rather than visibility. So when it comes to your love and relationships, past emotional patterns resurface for closure. Compassion must include boundaries. Any hidden enemies, legal matters, things like that, they're going to rise to the surface now, and you need to address them. When it comes to career and money, work behind the scenes. Visibility will improve later. Also watch for losses in this area, because anything that you did while the eclipses were going over you last year will come due with Saturn's influence. When it comes to your health and wellness, sleep, immunity, and spiritual fatigue will need some of your attention. So here are some remedies. You can do a nighttime mantra for chanting. One of the best mantras is for Ma Kali, and I'll go ahead and give you one for her. Om Krim Kalekaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalekaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalekaye Namaha. And that will protect you at night. Another thing you can do is a salt bath or a water ritual. And know that your thought, your mantra for this month should be withdraw to renew strength. Now, this is for all signs because we have Maha Shivaratri this month. That's on February 15th. And this is a time where you can fast and avoid grains. Treat it like an Ekadashi day. You can chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times. And know that this is a time to set one sincere intention to release fear, anger, and any attachment that's been unhealthy. So know that surrender is not weakness, it is a supreme strength. And when looking into these areas and addressing them on Maha Shivaratri, we can step into power. Now, how do we stay grounded this month? February is not about panic. It is about conscious participation. So speak less, observe more, protect your nervous system, and avoid any major commitments 48 hours before or after the February 17th eclipse. Work with mantra and routine, not reaction, especially to the headlines. And be calm, be vigilant, and above all, be compassionate. So know that authoritarian systems, they rely on fear, speed, and exhaustion. And eclipses slow karma down so it can't be seen. So February doesn't ask you to react. It asks you to recognize the patterns history has already taught us. And this story will continue with the March 3rd eclipse. That's when the consequences and reversals will become even clearer. Until then, stay discerning, stay humane, and stay rooted in your truth and not adrenaline. You are not here to be broken by history. You are here to outgrow it. Om Shanti. Om Peace. Om Love.
Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through